This is OneWrestling.com, 24/7 Wrestling News.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show, the Mark of the Masters, the man with a plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk about WWE Extreme Rules 2013 today. I'm coming here live from New York City. Well, actually, I'm not live, depending on when the heck you watch this, but I'm coming from New York City. My good friend and co-host, Christopher Perez, is coming all the way from the great state of Texas. Chris, how you doing over there, buddy?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm going to jump right into this, and I'm going to give my quick opinion. This is going to be an opinion-laced show. Now, Chris, I got to be honest with you. You know I covered TNA, but I love the WWE. And the fact of the matter, the truth is, I really, really did not enjoy this pay-per-view. Let's jump into the first match, the pre-show. The most, what did The Miz call himself? He was the most seen champion, or the most...
He was the most watched WWE champion in history.
And you mentioned...
He's the most watched post-show.
Or pre-show.
Or pre-show.
Pre-show wrestler in the history of the WWE. The Miz actually ends up going over Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes jumping off the second turnbuckle, trying to do some type of attack. The Miz able to catch his leg, finish him off with the figure four. Cody Rhodes taps out to The Miz. Tell me a little bit about this match. What did you think?
Pretty fair match. It wasn't what I expected. It was just to get the crowd started for tonight. Okay. I do miss his finisher, because the figure four is just it's used all the time. It's
not him. It's not him.
And with this night, you'll see another person use that finisher again.
Pretty much. Again, not an exciting match, not a great match, but it was something to let's just say warm up the crowd. We jump into the second match of the night, and this one was interesting, and I actually didn't think it would finish this way. But we have Fandango versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho actually goes over Fandango with the code breaker. Why don't you tell us what happened during this match?
Oh man, Fandango I think was going for the leg drop again for the second time, and then I got code braked like big time from the second turnbuckle. That was their better match. That was a better match than their WrestleMania match.
I agree. Now, I have a quick question for you, and I would like to know what you guys think here at OneWrestling.com. Please leave a comment below here at OneWrestling.com or YouTube/OneWrestlingVideo. My question to you is, do you see the quote-unquote love affair over with Fandango and the fans?
I suspect so, yeah. I mean, it was a back and forth thing between if the song was over or if the wrestler was over. I think the song was more over than the wrestler was, so I lean more to the side of that the song was over more than the wrestler. So yeah, the Fandango fan interaction, that's way done at this point.
Okay, and I want to hear from you guys here at OneWrestling.com. Please leave your comments. You can hit us up on Twitter, and I'll give you all the information towards the end of the show. We're going to jump right into an important match, and it's going to lead into a match down the road. But we have Dean Ambrose versus Kofi Kingston, and actually this was, I thought, a very good match between Dean Ambrose and Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston, in my opinion, is a great in-ring worker. He can have a great match with anyone, but I think Dean Ambrose showed that he has that little special something. Dean Ambrose winning the United States title. Why don't you tell us what happened during this match, buddy?
You see how Kofi has that controlled frenzy. Dean Ambrose has that unpredictability that you don't know where he's coming from. His move set is unorthodox. You don't know what move he busted out a crossface chicken wing. When is the last time you've seen a crossface chicken wing in a match?
No, a very long time.
And the chemistry between these two was solid. I would love to see another match with them down the road. It was a great match, which ended very good. I love the ending of this match.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose actually ends up ducking the Trouble in Paradise, and he actually what would you call that finisher that he hit him with? It's like
I don't know. I mean, as unpredictable as Dean Ambrose's moveset, I don't even know what you would call that.
Well, he hits him. I mean, he basically slams him face first onto the mat, finishes him 1, 2, 3. So Dean Ambrose is our new United States champion, and I feel that it actually will bring some type of legitimacy to that title. That title has been looked at as a 4th or even 5th tier title, and I think it's going to be really important to see where or how to the heights. What heights that Dean Ambrose is going to be able to bring this title. But we're going to quickly move on. We have Mark Henry versus Sheamus. And why don't you tell us a little bit about this match, Mark? And by the way, Sheamus actually goes over Mark Henry. What happened during this match?
Basically, Sheamus had all 3 turnbuckles, and just Mark Henry trying to put his strength into the advantage, but Sheamus had the smarts, so got him with the bro kick and hit the 4th turnbuckle. It was more about the smarts of Sheamus versus the brawn of Mark Henry in this match.
Very cool. That's actually really a good point. Mark Henry at one point at the end of the match actually had him up for the World's Strongest Slam, and Sheamus was able to get out of it and gave him the opportunity to hit him with the bro kick. 1, 2, 3. A decent. The match was what it was. It was a beat 'em up match, and I think both of the guys actually had a pretty decent match. Nothing special. I give it maybe about a 6. But
I gave it about that. I think this match should have been at WrestleMania instead of Ryback and Mark Henry, but that's my opinion.
Well, I would like to know what your opinion here is. OneWrestling.com. Again, please leave a comment below. Now we're going to move on to the #1 contenders I Quit match. Now we know Dolph Ziggler. There was a little accident between Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler, where Jack Swagger ends up legitimately kicking Dolph Ziggler, the World Heavyweight Champion, in the head, getting him concussed, and he was not clear to fight at this pay-per-view. So what they did was they had a I Quit match between between Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio to determine the #1 contender. Now, during this match, we had a lot of interference. We had Zeb Coulter, who actually took a towel and he threw it into the ring, and the referee thought that Alberto Del Rio basically quit the match, but it was actually Zeb Coulter. So then they restarted the match. Why don't you pick up and tell us what happened after they restarted the match?
I didn't know that the timekeeper had a TV. I didn't know he kept the TV on him. I mean, is that for all the events? I mean, I just didn't know that.
I was going to say really quickly, I didn't know they had instant replay in the WWE. I thought it was just...
I mean, I didn't know... I mean, timekeeper, you have a front row seat. The ring is right there, but you don't need a TV. But be that as it may, this was a very brutal match, I would say. It's like one of the most... Like, right next to the match we're about to explain later. I mean, it was a very brutal match. The thing that kept me very bothered was the 21 times that Mike Chioda asked, "Do you give up?" 21 times. I counted.
You actually counted the 21 times?
I actually counted how many times that Mike Chioda asked.
Well, Alberto Del Rio was able to actually put the arm breaker or the arm bar on Jack Swagger, and Jack Swagger quit. So basically, Alberto Del Rio is now the #1 contender. So my question to you is, do you think this is going to be a SmackDown match, or do you think we're going to kind of drag on this feud all the way to the next pay-per-view? And who do you think goes over between Alberto Del Rio and the world champion Dolph Ziggler?
Man, the next pay-per-view is called Payback. So I would venture to say that, I mean, Del Rio's going to try his hand at Ziggler. I think that feud, until Dolph gets cleared, will be dragged until Payback.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. So let's move on to the next match. All right. So the next match we have is the Tornado Tag Team Title match. Now, again, this match is very, very, very important to the future, or where the WWE is going to be going with this faction known as the Shield. We have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Kane and Daniel Bryan, who, in my opinion, have been fantastic tag team champions. They've been really over. They've won a lot of big matches, and unfortunately, the tag team champions couldn't hold on to their titles. Why don't you tell us about this big match tonight?
Yeah, Kane and Daniel Bryan's almost 250-day reign comes to an end tonight. They've been champions since September, and it's been a great reign. Is WWE's plan of building the Shield has been flawless.
Flawless.
I've never seen, like I've said, I've never seen a stable that built. And this is the first pay-per-view that a stable has won the amount of gold that it's won since Armageddon, when I think it was Armageddon 03, when Evolution won all that gold.
Right.
And this match was all over the place. It was a Texas Tornado tag match. That means all four were in the ring. They were just battling it out. The crowd was once again behind Daniel Bryan. You can't get Bryan to get booed at this point. I mean, he was all over the place. The surfboard to Rollins was sick. Rollins was jumping all over the place too. That boy could bump.
He sure can.
And there was a moment in that match where you thought it was over when Reigns hit that first spear.
Right.
You know, but no, Bryan stopped that, and then it came to the point where he got speared again, but then Reigns held him up in a torture rack fashion, and Rollins got on top and the knee right across Daniel Bryan's neck and just got the pin.
It was almost like a combination between the Road Warriors finish and Demolition's finish. It was I have never seen that finisher before, and I got to be honest with you. Now towards the end of after the match was over, Dean Ambrose joined them in the ring, and I haven't personally seen a faction this impressive, and I'm going to go way back to the Fabulous Freebirds. Yeah. The Fabulous Freebirds, one of my very, very famous trios in all of wrestling. And back in the day, they used to run WCCW, NWA, all the territories. And I got to tell you something. These young guys, I think, have a very, very, very bright future. And I'm interested to see in which direction they're going. Now, my question to you is, where do you think the Shield are moving on to?
My opinion, the first time I thought about the Shield winning the tag title, I thought they were going to use the Freebird rule when they got when that was starting. But now that you threw Ambrose into the singles picture, now that team is going to hold on to all of those titles for a while. Now
I'm going to interrupt you really quickly. You know, technically, they're the Shield. They are one faction. I mean, they might still be able to kind of do the whole Freebird thing, where maybe you have Rollins defending the United States title, and you have Dean Ambrose, and you have the other guy going to defend the tag team titles. I mean, it's going to be really interesting. I think you have a great dynamic with that faction. Again, they're young. They're all pretty decent on the mic. They're fantastic workers. They all have a great look. I think they have a very, very bright future. But we have a lot to cover, so we're going to quickly move on to, and I said this to you off the air, what I called the extreme bathroom break match of the night, because basically that's where I went. I really wasn't really interested in this match, but it was the Big Show and Randy Orton, where we have Randy Orton going over with the RKO, slamming the Big Show's face into a chair, and then I guess he heard voices in his head again, hitting him with the punt, covering for the 1-2-3. Give us a quick synopsis of what do you think about this match?
The punt was the highlight. The punt hasn't been shown in about a couple of years, so for him to bring back the punt in his hometown was pretty good. I think Big Show may be going for a hiatus.
Okay.
The way the match went, as far as the Big Show went, I think Big Show is going on a hiatus, because I don't think there's anything for WWE to put the Big Show on after this point. Do you?
Personally, you know what, the Big Show deserves a break. I mean, the guy's been working hard for the company all the way from winning the World Heavyweight Championship in his first match in WCW to now. And the fact of the matter is, Big Show, people underestimate how great the Big Show is. Me personally, I think the Big Show, and this is, I'm going to get maybe I'll get some heat for this, I think the Big Show is possibly the best, all due respect to one of the greatest, Andre the Giant, the best working big man of all time. Again,
I agree.
That's my opinion.
Like I said, the way the match turned out, when he was putting that ladder contraption together, and when he took that bump, I'm like, Big Show's gonna go on break for a little bit. So
okay, so now we're gonna move on, and I'm crack my knuckles here, and we're going to get into this last man standing match between John Cena and Ryback. I'm going to let you break down the match, and then I'm going to give, that's how I feel. I'm going to give my opinion on this match, but you go right ahead. Tell us about this match.
This is you know what this is? This is a head scratcher, because that's basically what that whole match was. The outcome, I don't know where that outcome, who thought of that outcome, and how it just popped up in the person's head. Basically, they were fighting all over. My fear, just Cena using that fire extinguisher more than one time.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, they actually went into the crowd, which we don't see all the time anymore. And look, let's be honest. I mean, if you play WWE 13, one of the oh my god moments or the OMG moments is when you put the guy through the barricade, which they actually did, which was a good spot. Look, Chris, here's the deal. This match I actually was enjoying.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna rant here for a little bit. This match was good. I enjoyed the match, but my God, the way the match ended, you have excuse me, you have John Cena. He's about to put the attitude adjustment. He's about to drop him off the stage, and you have Ryback, who actually runs and runs John Cena through the video wall. And then apparently they don't have any cameramen backstage like they used to do back in the day. But it took a while before the cameraman back there went backstage. And when you get backstage, John Cena is laid out. He's draped over this big metal fixture, and Ryback, who actually stands up, who actually gets up, assisted or not, he stands up. Okay, John Cena is knocked out. Isn't this a last man standing match? Am I wrong? Okay, so now, this is what actually got me upset. And I usually don't rant. I usually don't get upset. You see my stuff. I'm very positive. But what really angered me is when Michael Cole had the balls. I'm going to say it, the balls to compare this bump. And again, I have all the respect. I am not a professional wrestler, but how dare he compare this bump through a video stage to anything that Mick Foley did. Mick Foley was thrown off a cage by The Undertaker, a 15-foot high Hell in a Cell, and through a table. Mick Foley was then thrown through the cage and knocked unconscious. Mick Foley, I was there at Madison Square Garden when Mick Foley went through the cage versus Triple H and went through the freaking mat, and they couldn't continue the match. There is no way, Chris, that you can compare this crappy finish to anything Mick Foley did. And I swear, when they did the post show, Mick Foley looked. He had a look on his face like, oh my God, what am I doing here? I mean, again, that's my opinion. The match was good, but the finish, I feel sorry for anyone who spent anything more than $25 to sit in that arena or pay for this pay-per-view. Chris, what's your opinion?
The outcome was exactly idiotic. I mean, Ryback, in my opinion, should be the WWE champion at this point. Cena was not standing, Ryback was. And the fact that Cole would even make that comment and or gesture saying that was comparing to a Foley bump, that's just blasphemous. I did not like that comment. It was very, very disrespectful. And the thing was, when that bump happened, Foley chants started going up.
Yeah. We're just gonna move on from there. What I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from the fans of OneWrestling.com, and I want you to leave your sincere opinions on this match's finish. Chris, I can't take this anymore. We're gonna have to move on, okay? All right, Chris. So now we're gonna go into the main event of the evening, and I'm gonna make a quick point about this. Now, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, or the WWE Championship match, should have been on last. It's the championship match, but I guess the people at the WWE realized that the finish was so crap for Ryback, they couldn't send the fans home with that. So we go into this match listen, great match. I gotta be honest with you, it was a great match. I don't think it was a spectacular match. Triple H ends up going down, losing to Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman plays a huge role in this match. Chris, break this match down to us. Give me your opinions. What do you think about this match?
Okay, I did not know there was going to be a new cage debuting. So this was new to me and probably new to you as well, because I think they said the cage was a foot higher than the original design.
Can I ask you a quick question? Why don't they bring back the blue cage?
Wow.
Listen,
so classic.
I'm a big fan of the blue cage, and I know I've watched a couple of DVDs, and I know that the blue cage is, they say it's really unforgiving, that the guys really get hurt. But for a match like this, I think this would have been a good blue cage match. But anyway, continue, Chris. That's just my opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, look at Foley. He took a blue cage door to the face.
Remember that?
Yeah, SummerSlam '97. Yeah, but be that as it may, they debuted a new cage. It was a foot higher. I mean, I like the structure. It was a bit bigger, but the match was better than their previous two. I would say that after their first match at SummerSlam, Triple H and Brock Lesnar, I guess, tried their best to make their WrestleMania match a little bit better and to make the cage match way more better. You know, the quality got better with each and every match, because the failure of the SummerSlam match was that it was too slow and it was dragging on. So get the more action going. So with this cage, which I love cage matches, and it was just too interference in a way. You need closure,
right.
And for that to be the rubber match between Triple H and Lesnar, you needed to be closure. You needed to have no interference whatsoever. You needed both of them to just go all out. And I know we didn't see that, but the right man got over on this match, which was going to happen anyway. But because if you have Brock Lesnar lose, there goes everything that the WWE has worked for as far as his return went. But Triple H using his move and Ric Flair's and Bret Hart's in one match, that's a first. And Triple H almost does a worse sharpshooter than The Rock.
Oh, it was a horrible sharpshooter. I mean, with all due respect to Triple H.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Well, he actually, the sledgehammer came into play.
Yes.
And it came into play big, because towards the end of the match, you know, Triple H brought the sledgehammer into the match.
Really camouflaged too.
It was really, yeah, because it was actually what was it, hanging off the cage or something like that? You didn't see it.
Hanging off, like painted silver. You couldn't even see it when it was coming down.
And the fact is that Triple H was about to actually hit Brock Lesnar again with the sledgehammer, but what happened was Paul Heyman coming from behind with a low blow, giving Brock Lesnar the opportunity to nail Triple H with the sledgehammer, hitting him with the F5, going over Triple H in this match. Now, you make an interesting point. There was a clear winner. Brock Lesnar won the match, and he did what he had to do. Paul Heyman is a fantastic person to have in your corner, because he will do whatever it takes to have his client go over. So now my question to you is, Brock Lesnar is now done with Triple H, hopefully. I'm going to ask you a question. I want everybody on OneWrestling.com, I want you guys to leave an answer here. Will Brock Lesnar, before the end of this year, be the WWE champion?
Yes. I'm going to flat out say it, yes. Who he beats for that title is up in the air at this point. In my opinion, CM Punk.
Okay.
I say that Brock Lesnar will face CM Punk somewhere down the line for the WWE title, and yes, that means CM Punk will have the WWE Championship. That's just me. I'm saying that CM Punk comes back, gets the title sooner rather than later, and that matchup in anybody's head is money already.
And I was going to tell you real quick, it's going to be really interesting, because then Paul Heyman will actually have to choose between his client CM Punk or his friend CM Punk and his friend and client Brock Lesnar. Now, the fact is that this, for me, gives CM Punk an opportunity for a face change, because I don't see Brock Lesnar becoming a face anytime soon.
No.
I honestly feel that the WWE is. They haven't been. Their pay-per-views haven't been great. I think WrestleMania 29 wasn't fantastic. I know this wasn't good, but it's I think leading into something a lot better. And I hope that us as fans can give this product an opportunity. Just like when I do my TNA recaps, give the product an opportunity to grow, to develop, to not just trash it, but to see. I mean, I did rant earlier on that last match, but you never know. Maybe there's a huge payoff. Maybe tomorrow night on Raw there's going to be something big. I don't know, Chris. But,
It's basically, I mean, that finish could lead to something. Because if anybody saw the post-show, Cena never went to the hospital. Cena never got checked. Cena just went to get his x-rays. So he never really went to the hospital to get checked. So you could plainly see that the injuries are piling up on John Cena.
Right.
Which will lead you to believe that Cena is finally going to have that break.
Right.
But when Cena exits, when that break happens, Punk has to enter.
Well,
because there's no big face after Cena.
Well, we're gonna leave it like that, ladies and gentlemen. That was Extreme Rules 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this all the time. I would do this for a living, but if I can, I'll do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. I love talking to my good friend Chris Perez. Chris, do me a favor. Can you tell us how we can follow you on Twitter and also other social media networks?
Twitter, you can follow me at Perez_81 and YouTube /Dr. Boomtube.
Very cool, Chris. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure doing this with you. Again, I'm looking forward to maybe perhaps doing another pay-per-view. You think you'll be available, buddy?
I'll be here.
Very cool, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you for my TNA recaps and reviews. We do it here every time. You can follow us here at OneWrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. You can follow me on Twitter at Big Ray's Show, and of course here at YouTube /OneWrestling.com. Again, Chris, I want to send my sincerest thank you all the way from New York to Texas, buddy, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Hey, God bless.
Peace.